Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
That's more like it.
Yeah.
We all in here, and that means that it is a good evening. Everybody clean and sober up in here? Yeah. Make some noise for being clean and sober. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Ms. Gracie, for having me come out. I believe this might be the second time that I came here. My dear friend, thank you so much again for always making sure that we have a place to come and fellowship with each other, man, and grow together and learn from each other. It's about look, listening, and learning. Look, listening, learning. I want to do something first here while people are coming in. I'm going to try to be expeditious as I can. Again, who didn't hear, they're coming in. I'm KG Wilson. And I have been around here coming to recovery rooms and meetings for going on 22 years. January 1st will make 22 years. Even though I heard y'all make more noise than that for 30 days. I said going on 22 years. Thank you. It's been a journey. I want to start off right now by just saying and giving honor to the God that I understand and for saving my life, like I said, going on 22 years ago. And I want to also give honor to those who came before us, who came into the rooms in the meetings and poured out their hearts, shared their courage, strength, and their hope with us, man, when we were newcomers. And we didn't know our way. We didn't know what we were going to do, or whether we were going to leave or we were going to stay. But they came in and they shared their courage, strength, and their hope with us. Anybody who knows me, I'm somebody who I really do try my best. I try real hard. It's really hard. I'm talking about, y'all don't know how hard it is, man, for me to try to find something to wear. And so, I knew somebody would laugh. But yeah, truthfully it is. But there's sometimes, man, it's not. And it's on days like today, and how Gracie had me come over here to speak. And the thing about it is, I was talking to a friend of mine on the way in here. She was talking about how she really liked my jacket and, my outfit, and I hadn't gotten out the car yet. And so I told her, you'll probably forget all about the jacket, the shirt, the hat, and the pants when I tell you about the shoes. And I got out of the car, and she looked down at my shoes, and she said, wow. But she really didn't know what the wow was about. And I'm going to share this with you. So tonight, I want to dedicate this message to a great friend of mine who almost get emotional and choked up talking about. So I probably have at my house maybe 100 pairs of shoes. 100 pairs of shoes. 99 of those shoes mean anything to me. I have one pair of shoes that mean the world to me. They are priceless because they were given to me by someone who spoke life into me in these rooms and became a close friend and big brother to me. These are the shoes that I have on my feet right now. A few years ago, I was paralyzed in the hospital. I couldn't walk. I was in the hospital for about 6 months from sciatica. It had shut down my whole body where I couldn't walk. I had to learn how to walk all over again. This brother who had spoken to my life years ago came to the hospital and he stayed by my bedside every day. He had the keys to my car, my money, everything. He took care of all of my responsibilities hospitals, whatever I needed to do, he stayed by my side. He actually brought a meeting to the hospital to where I was, because I wasn't able to go to the meetings, which I went to meetings every day, sometimes 2 or 3 meetings for at least 17, 18 years. So he stayed by my side, and he had more faith in me than I did. I didn't think I'd ever be able to get up and walk again. But he said, you'll get up and walk again, KG. Just hang in there, I'm right here by you. And one morning I woke up and I didn't see him come in. And I was looking for him. And I got a call and they told me that he had a massive heart attack. And he went into a coma. I was crushed. Because all I wanted to do was get up and walk again and thank him for being by my side. Thank him for coming to the meetings and sharing his courage, strength, and hope. And he had a saying that he would always say, I'm not a dope dealer, but I'm a hope dealer. And that was over 20-something years ago. And I never forgot. His name was Ernie. You remember Ernie, Gracie?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember Ernie? Did you remember Ernie? Yeah, and so I ended up going to the hospital after I got out of the hospital, and I ended up being by his bedside, talking to him while he was laying in the bed in a coma. Some days emotional, saying, man, you got to come out of this, man. I didn't get a chance to tell you thank you. And all I could think about was that pair of shoes that he gave me that was at the house. Out of all the shoes, I probably had 300 pairs of shoes at that time. But all I could think about was the importance and the pricelessness of that pair of shoes. Because it was just a pair of shoes at first. I just threw them in the closet. And so I never did get to tell him thank you to his face. He ended up passing away. I never got to tell him thank you. And so I miss him, and so today I just want to dedicate this message to him. And so when I got up today, I wanted to try to figure out what could I wear, and I thought about him. And so I grabbed the shoes, and from the shoes, I put together this outfit. And so his outfit and his shoes was not about me, but it was about him. And I remember hearing a message some years ago that a brother did in Chicago called In My Father's Shoes. And he did a message in his father's shoes because his father had brought him to recovery. Oh, y'all not feeling me in here yet? Give me a minute, I got you. I got you. So I want to dedicate this to Brother Ernie. I wish y'all could have met him, but you are meeting his spirit inside of me and some of his messages inside of me, and you'll see what I mean by that in a second. So thank y'all for coming out here today. Real quickly, I want to try to give someone a story coming here from Chicago in about 2000 and came up here to change, try to do something different, former gang enforcer. I did the robbing, stealing, the drugs, the alcohol. I didn't even remember that I did acid until I first came over here. And I looked around and all the stuff, and it reminded me of the first time I took acid, because I saw all this stuff up in here that first time. And not only that, it was my first time, it was my birthday, and I had went to the Peace of Mind tour, Iron Maiden. And that's when they used to have the mascot, Eddie. I know some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Who know what I'm talking about? Who know about Iron Maiden here? Yeah. So they had a big 10-foot mascot, Eddie, who would come out on the stage. Right? And so when I first came in here, that's what I thought about, was that. So I did all the drugs. That's my drug law, man. So I qualified to be here, and yep, I'm like you and you like me. And if you didn't do all of that, you was blessed not to do it. If I didn't do what you did, I was blessed not to do it. Oh man, thank God, thank God, thank God. So anyway, yeah, I came here from Chicago and trying to find my way. I wanted to do something different. And I was a child that was raised in a foster home. My mom was an intravenous drug user who shot dope in her veins, and she collapsed every vein in her body. And so she had 4 boys, and I was a baby, and we all got separated in foster homes, and I ended up in a foster home by myself. It's really something because the first time I came here to this meeting, my dear brother handed me one of these. Did y'all get one of these too?
Yeah.
The little army man, me and you was talking about that. Now, some of y'all might be too young, and this might have been what the first time you saw this when he gave it to you. But I shared with him a little while ago, he was going to see what I'm talking about. Those used to come in a clear plastic bag. There would be a whole bunch of them. Now, the only way you would know that, then you would be telling your age.
Right.
Are they still selling them? They still selling them? Oh, y'all got too much technology now. Y'all ain't don't mess with them no more. It got to be something you tap it on your fingers now on the cell phone. But anyway, because I promised you I'd tell you about it, me and him talked about it. So these little army men that y'all see every time y'all come in here, or if you had some, you probably won't think the same or pay attention to them because you never know. They tell a story. I don't know what story they told for you, but I'm going to just put this piece in there because they sit here and you see them all the time. And he gives you one. Are you still giving them to people? Yeah. And the thing about those army man figures is they're all different. Right? They're all different.
Come on.
Right?
Come on.
And so, those army men as a kid were my protectors. The reason why they were my protectors because in this foster home, I was abused, tortured, beaten, and almost raped. Well, that's it. And every time I come in here and I look over there at these army men, I remember how I used to place them on the tub in each position, but I would have them aimed at the door. And I would have the door locked and closed. And as a child sitting in the tub with almost a whole bathroom full of bubbles, because we had something called Mr. Bubble. I don't even remember that. Mr. Bubble was dangerous. If you put too much, you look at him laughing. If you put too much Mr. Bubble in the tub, it will fill up the whole bathroom. Seriously, you'd have to carry stuff out of the bathroom. But the bathroom was always my place that I felt safe and that I would have peace at. And I would always bring certain toys in there. And back in those days, we had a thing called Stretch Armstrong. Who remembers Stretch Armstrong? And Stretch Armstrong was just a strong man. And I don't know why crazy I had some curiosity was what was on the inside of him. I can't believe that one of y'all break him open too. He had jelly in him.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yep.
But he was a protector. And we had Spider-Man, and Superman, and all these different action hero figures that I would line up on the tub as my protectors. But I would have those army men as my top protectors. Trying to see how can I just get around this and say this. I see kids in the room. Anyway, they were my protectors, at least I thought they was. This one day they wasn't able to protect me in the bathroom because one of my foster brothers came in the bathroom and grabbed me out of the tub butt naked and took me down in the basement. Started to beat me, tied me to the pole. There was a pole in the basement called the torture pole. And I do remember when he drug me down out the tub, I grabbed one of the army men in my hand. I still was believing in that army man name you talked about. And I was screaming and crying and hollering, holding on to my arm man, tied him to to the cold, started to beat me, and told me that he heard that I was going to tell my foster parents what was going on with me or what they were doing to me. I was screaming and hollering, telling them, no, I won't. Not. So those were some attempts to do some things to me, and I'm saying it like that because we got children in here. And the only reason why that didn't happen because I used the bathroom on myself. So then I was beat to clean that up, clean up the blood. I still had my army man in my hand. And at that time, even though I didn't know about God of understanding, as a child, I believed and believed for a long time that army man saved me. Because I felt like that's what they do. They protect. So it was horrible in the foster home, what I went through in the foster home. Beatings after beatings, tortures after torture. Beatings, I would always say, why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? To speed up. That happened for years. I got about 10 years old, and I remember being outside playing one day. And back in those days, you couldn't run in and out of the house. If you come back in, you got to stay in. And so I happened to come in because I wanted the basketball. And I walked in the house and I grabbed the basketball. I don't know why I bounced that ball. To this day, I'll never forget it. Why did I bounce that basketball? And I bounced that basketball and woke up my foster brother. And he ran out there and beat me bloody. And at 10 years old, I said, that's it. I can't take it. I'm running away. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm running away. I'm just running. And I took off running out the door. And I ran down the street. I ran till I couldn't run no more. I was out of breath. When I looked up, I saw about 15 guys smoking cigarettes. And they all had on blue. I walked up to them crying and bloody, and I told them what had happened, what was going on, and I thought they was a family. I said, y'all look like a family. And I don't have a family, I'm in this foster home, could I join your family? And one of the guys looked at me and he said, yeah, man, you can join our family. And he cleaned the blood up off of me. And at that time, as a child in foster home, and being different than the other kids, and having, as I back up a little bit, what the other kids said was called the foster kid disease. No kids wanted to play with me or nothing or talk to me. I wanted a family like other kids. So I felt alone. I felt alone. And so I need you to remember, alone. That's what this message is going to be about, alone. I said I'll share some of the stories so I can move along, but this is about being alone. And so I was alone in this foster home. There was 10 boys, and I was the only one who had nobody, a family member there. The rest of the boys had a family member there. So I was alone. I was alone because no kids didn't want to play with me because I was a foster kid. I was alone. I got my beatings and my torture alone. I don't know why it happened, and I kept questioning, why me? And I always wondered why me. At 10, I remember going and asking them, like I said, could I be in the family, the 15 guys out there all dressed in blue? And because I was running from a beating and the torture and trying to find a family and trying to find some help, I was so happy when he said I could join their family. That I ran back to the foster home that I was running away from so I can tell them, Sister Gracie, I found a family. I got a family. These people accepted me in their family. And one of the foster boys that was in their home with me and him was okay. And he looked at me and he said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "The guys down the street, I ran away down the street down there, and the guys down there by the basketball courts, it was about 15 of them down there, and they wiped me off, and I told him what had happened, and he said, 'Man, you big dummy. Do you know what you just did?' I said, 'What?' He said, 'You just joined one of the biggest gangs in Chicago.' I just put my head down and said the same thing again. Why me? I was just running to somewhere, trying to join something and be a part of something that, because I was alone. I need y'all to remember that. Because I was alone. I remember, for some reason, I would always see these guys, because I started hanging around them after 10 years old, because now the beatings and the abuse and the torture stopped, because now I'm in a gang now. So that stopped because the gangs came to the foster home and told him he with us now. At 10 years old. That was not something I wanted. That was not nothing I was looking to be a part of. As a child, I wanted to be a pastor and a gospel singer and a clothing designer. Because when I was a kid, we had something called GQ magazines. Anybody remember those? Yeah. I wanted to do that. I didn't want to be in no gang, none of this. I was alone. So, I remember seeing these guys for some reason. They was always happy when they was drinking this stuff in a bottle. It was some red stuff in a bottle. And I was like, why are they so happy? But it was only when they would drink this stuff in a bottle. In this foster home, there was no drinking of drugs or nothing in foster. So I knew nothing about no drugs or alcohol or nothing like that. It wasn't in there. We went to church. Even though it was bad with what was going on in there, my foster mother took us to church. And so I was curious about it. And I saw, at 10 years old, some guy set the bottle down. And they started talking and laughing, because it would make them laugh and all that. And I creeped over there with Sister Betty. And I watched. And I grabbed that bottle. And I picked it up and I poured it in me like I saw them do. And I sat it back down. And I waited to see, was it going to do the same thing to me as it did to them? Come on, Patrick. Because like I said, I was looking for something to, I know today, self-medicate my feelings. Yes. I was alone looking for something to be a part of. It didn't matter. I just didn't want to be alone. It seemed like I was the only kid. I didn't see no other kid at school that was going through what I was going through. And so I remember pouring this stuff inside of me. And it took me so high up. Like I was 10 feet tall. And I didn't have no problems or nothing at all again. Like I didn't care no more. It was like, wow, this is what I needed. I'm talking about at 10 years old. And what's crazy about it is, it didn't last. As quick as it went up, I came down. And I never did get to see that part. All I saw was when they drinking and they came up and they was all happy and smiling and all of this, like they had no problem or nothing. And it's crazy because when it came down, the thing that I was trying to find something and I found in that bottle, it magnified. It was worse then. So at 10 years old, I had to try to figure out, how do I make this thing go up and never come down? Because I don't want to think about what happened to me from 5 years old to 10. I don't want to think about that I don't have a mom, that I don't have a father. And the reason why I don't have a father is because I found out that they told me that my father got murdered by one of his girlfriends, shot in the head and blew his brains out. So to this day, I never even seen a picture of my dad. A lot of times I wonder, do I look like him? Do I walk like him? Do I talk like him? Hopefully, wherever he is, hopefully I've done something that made him proud of me. Should be proud of me for being here with y'all today. Pouring this out, so I have to go back and live it. So anyway, I drank the liquor, and I found out I had to go up and stay up, which meant that I had to drink till I pass out, which made me have to steal money. Back then they had pop bottles. You could take pop bottles back to the store. Y'all remember that? Take pop bottles back to the store and get money for them. I would do that, steal people's pop bottles and all of that, and go get money so I can go to this garage. There was a garage, I don't know about in your neighborhood, but there was a garage in my neighborhood where all these old men were there, and they had been there because I had been seeing them since I was 5 till I was 10. They was fixing on the same car. That same car was in there, they fixed Steve laughing at me. That same car, but actually I found out later that what was going on was, this was the place where they come, yeah, they fix on the car, but this is where they come and drink at. And so if I came over there and brought money, they would go into the store and get something for me to drink. And so I became an alcoholic at 10 years old. So my journey started out terrible. It's unbelievable that I survived that. I was alone looking for something. And I even noticed that I was still alone. When I was around them, I was with them, but I still was alone with what I was going through. Even when I was around them, I was still alone because I was by myself going through what I went through. One day I saw them rolling up something that looked like what I saw on a Cheech and Chong movie. Anybody remember Cheech and Chong? I can only talk about stuff that's back in my time, right? And I saw them doing what I saw on Cheech and Chong. And it was like, if anybody saw Cheech and Chong, a whole lot of people wanted to do what they did because it seemed like the funnest thing ever. They movies, how they made them. And so I seen them do this, and this was something that made them laugh, you know, and so I wanted to do that, and I tried that about 11 or 12 years old, and I became what they call a pothead. They don't call them potheads no more, huh? Yeah, did that. So I just didn't want to be alone. Just didn't want to be alone. From there, I ended up fighting, stealing, and as a child, I made my first trip to the juvenile detention center. I know y'all probably heard about jails, institution, and death. Y'all heard that before? Yeah. I didn't hear about the death part like we do today, but back then, definitely the jails in the institution, and that's as a child. So I want to try to come home with this. And so I had this mission in my life as a child. I wanted to meet my mother. And couldn't talk to nobody about it. And my foster mother would tell me, your mom's a drug addict and she didn't want you. She threw you in the garbage can and she didn't want you, so stop looking for her. You ain't never gonna find her. And but I never gave up. I just kept, they didn't tell me she was dead, so I, as a child, just kind of went on about it, hoping that maybe one day she would come on my birthday and I'd get her for a birthday present. Or maybe, if I be good, like my foster mom had told me, Santa would come down the chimney and not just with the bag of toys, but he would bring my mom. And so I got to the point where I didn't want toys anymore. I just wanted for birthday presents and for Christmas, but I never got it. I was alone, still searching, still trying to find something and somebody that could help me with my situation, because I wasn't strong enough to deal with what I was dealing with. Got into so much trouble with the gangs, drinking and drugging my whole teenage life, in and out of juvenile until I was old enough to go to jail, age 17, 18. Just terrible, still searching. I was 21 years old, and that's, I believe, when I first used some cocaine. It's crazy because I was 21 years old, still drinking and drugging about something that happened in my childhood when I was 5 years old.
Come on, now you're sharing.
I didn't even realize that because I couldn't get it out of my mind. I couldn't get the taste, the smell, the feeling of the abuse and the molestations out of my mind. And the only way I would think about it is if I was drinking or drugging. And I was alone by myself. It was something I couldn't talk to nobody about. I couldn't talk to the guys about it. I couldn't talk to the girls about it. I couldn't talk to nobody about it. I was still alone. Always alone, man. Why did I choose the topic of alone? I came to Minnesota in 2000, and I brought my 3 boys and their mom here. We didn't know nothing about Minnesota. So they're kids, I'm grown, so I'm by myself, a man alone. Coming to a place, I don't know which is which. They said Twin Cities. I didn't know what St. Paul or Minneapolis. Only reason why I ended up in Minneapolis is because the cab driver asked me where was we from, and I told him, and he said, oh, St. Paul is too slow for y'all, and put us in the cab and took us to Minneapolis. Or else I would have been in St. Paul.
Too slow.
Man. After drinking and drugging so much, the gang violence, all that stuff in Chicago, like I said, still messed up in the mind, still alone in the head, still alone in my spirit, I moved to Minnesota. I'm going to find some change and do something different because I heard that this was a place of opportunity and that you could change. And I did hear that it was one of the top recovery places in the world. I did hear that. I said, well, maybe I can get connected with that some kind of way. And I came here. I got off the bus, the Greyhound bus, and I was looking for this wonderful, beautiful welcome. I stepped off the bus, one step, this guy stepped up to me like he was waiting for me to get off the bus. And he looked at me and he said, where you from, bro? I said, I'm from Chicago. Why? He said, I knew it. He said, y'all the problem here. He said, y'all came up here and messed our town up. I said, bro, I just got here. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't know nothing about the other people who came here, man. I came here to change and do something different, bro. What is your problem? He said, yeah, that's what they all say. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I am a believer. I said, I wouldn't have came all the way up here to do the same thing. I'm not going to be one of those that just changed an address. I came up here on a mission. I'm a believer. I've been a believer since I was a child. I do have a powerful God understanding and a big brother who's been with me from day one. And I said, between them two and me, I personally am going to prove you wrong about me. I can't speak for them, but I personally am going to prove you wrong about me. So, that first 2 years, it was messed up. I didn't find my way. But after that, on my last binge, the drug and alcohol addiction had took me to the place where I become a reckless and a homeless bum. And it's crazy because I wasn't even homeless, but it had taken me to a place where I was homeless in my mind.
Come on.
My family was looking for me, but I was hiding from them. I wasn't going to a shelter because you could be found in a shelter. So I didn't want to go there. So what I did is I chose a park in downtown Minneapolis called Loring Park. Anybody know where that is?
Yeah.
And I lived there for 6 months on the park bench. And I remember days barely being able to make it there. Some days I would be so drunk and high that I would just pass out before I get there. And no, I ain't ate nothing in 5 or 6 days, but I would wake up in somebody else's puke. I remember the park police waking me up one morning. Young man, what's going on? What's happening with you? And I told him what was going on. I told him how I got there. I would tell him my story, like I'm telling you here. I don't know what to do. I'm alone. I'm trying to find my way. So why don't you try the treatment? Okay, I'm willing to try whatever I can. I remember going to a treatment center in North Minneapolis called Turning Point. I liked that name because that meant I needed a turning point in my life. But when I got to the place, they said, we don't have no beds available, man. I said, well, I've been sleeping on a park bed for 6 months. I didn't come here for a bed. I came here for some help.
Come on, KG.
And I'm not leaving here, so I'm already institutionalized. So call the police and tell them you got somebody who is trying to tear their life around and change their life around. And I'm tired of drinking and drugging. I'm tired of going through. I want to. This place says turning point. I need a turning point in my life. I'm not going nowhere. And the guy said, oh my God. I said, I'll sleep on the floor until a bed becomes available. He said, wow. He said, man, yeah, all right, we'll fix you up a place. Told me to go over there and sit down. Some guy had went out on the pass and didn't come back. So they said, we got a bed open for you. Ain't that something how that happens? And I went to a treatment center and I got a turning point in my life. Really appreciate that place. It's like a home away from home now. I'm like one of, the people who go there and speak. So for years now, I've always been a highly spiritual brother, so I went back to my roots of my childhood, and I've always been a church guy. And so I went to church. I hadn't did the meetings and going to the recovery thing. My mom was doing it. Now, mind you, I got to tell y'all something. In 1986, I had moved. In 82, I moved to Southern Illinois. In 86, I moved back. When I came back, I wanted to look for my family. And they told me where my family was. And I asked about my mom. And my brother said, your mom. Now, mind you, I told you my mom was an intervening drug user. All of us got took away from her. She was all messed up on drugs and alcohol. They said, your mom went to treatment years ago.
Come on, KG.
And she's clean and sober. Matter of fact, your mom is one of the top drug and alcohol substance abuse counselors in the state of Illinois.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
She started meetings all over Chicago. I was like, what? Wow, where's she at? I need to go see her.
Right.
Wow. But I wasn't ready then, back then in that time. I was still drinking and smoking a little weed, but I wanted to go and see her, and that happened. My mom was doing great. Then my mom went to college and graduated from college, got a degree in college.
Yes.
A few years ago, I said a few years ago, I gotta go back. Before I got myself clean and sober, before I allowed God to change my life, My last run, I said I can't take it no more. I'm gonna take this razor blade and I'm gonna cut my wrist until I bleed to death. And I'm standing on the street. I said, but before I do this, I want to call my mom in Chicago and tell her. And I took the razor blade and I called her and I told my Mom, I got this razor blade to my wrist. I'm here in Minnesota and I'm about to cut my wrist. And I just want to tell you thank you. I'm proud of you. I can't do that recovery thing you do, making the meetings and all of that. I can't take it. I just can't do it, Sister Grace. I told my mama. I said, I'm going to cut my wrist and end it all. And it's something because my mom was programmed. She was recovery. That was her whole life. My mom did say, baby, don't do that. Put the razor blade down. I'm going to send you a ticket right now. Come to Chicago with me and so I can love you up and all of this. My mom did say that.
What she say?
She said, boy, put that doggone razor blade down and make a meeting. I said, Mama, did you hear what I just told you? She said, did you hear what I just told you? What have I been telling you for years? What do I do about everything? Where do I go all the time? What have I been doing all of these years? I told you, make a meeting. I was upset. I said, this lady, is she crazy? I'm not doing this naked on dang on me. I'm trying to kill myself and you talking about a meeting. Where's my bus ticket? I said, you know what? She said, call me when you get through. When you get through with me. I said, I'm going to show her something, Sister Gracie. I'm going to show her something, Sister Gracie. I'm going to go to this meeting. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell her I went to that dang on meeting of yours that you talking about. And I went to the meeting. And I walked in, and when I walked in, they had these little colorful key tag things they was passing around to each other, but they were standing up saying, I got 30 days. And I almost had a heart attack when I heard somebody say they was 30 days clean. I said, there's no way you've been clean for 30 days and you happy. I wanted to get high at that time. And I couldn't believe it. Somebody said 60 days. I almost had a stroke. Somebody said 90 days. I was about to run up out of there, but I had to stay to see if they gonna lie some more. Because I don't know if y'all was like that. Did y'all believe people was clean when y'all first came around? That was unbelievable to me. I stayed around there for 90 days and messed around and got 90-day key tag. And I was really pissed off there because I didn't come around there to get clean. I'm come around here trying to catch somebody getting high. And couldn't catch nobody getting high. I did that for 6 months and got a 6-month key tag for being clean for 6 months trying to catch somebody getting high. Insanity they talk about in step 2. So I didn't realize until 6 months that every day that I was in a meeting was another day that I was clean and sober.
All right.
Man, so that was a blessing. And I had to call my mom and tell her about it. She was so happy and so proud because she was the one that told me to come to meeting. So my mom had passed away a few years ago. She had 35 years clean and sober when she passed away. Yeah. So I always thank her for telling me to come here. It's been a journey that I found out that some things I could do with y'all and we could do with each other, but some things you're going to have to do alone. I actually went to treatment alone. Most of the time I come to meeting alone if ain't nobody riding with me. I come sit down and I listen in the meeting alone. I am a God of my understanding that I wish I could share with y'all, but I can't share them, and you can't share yours with me. It's something that we do alone. We have our own personal relationship.
Come on.
There's some things you that have sponsors, you share stuff with them alone. I don't care if you got a sponsee family. Y'all might have a sponsee group meeting, but between you and that sponsor, you have stuff that is between you and them and God alone. I told y'all to remember, I'm about to bring this home. I told y'all to remember that I talked about being alone. I was alone in the foster home. I was alone when I joined the gang. I was alone when I took my first drink of drugs. I was alone when I went to treatment. I was alone when I was on the park bench. I started my journey out alone. Some of us started our journey out alone, and some alone seem bad. But some alone is good. So when I came around here and I sat down alone and I listened to the people, one of who I told you in the beginning, who shared his story, his courage, strength, and hope like I'm doing with you, I found out that I had to come into a room alone and receive the information alone. Leave alone. And I had to be grateful, and I was blessed for people that came before me who stood in the middle of the floor alone and poured out this information, this life-saving information that would be the life-saving information that will give me something that long after they're gone, I will be able to stand alone. My message to you today, I don't care what you've been through, what you've heard I've been through, and we've been through a lot of this stuff alone. Even in fellowship, we dance, we party, we do whatever we can, clean the sober fund, we have sponsors, we have all of that, but guess what? There's some times it's just going to be you alone. And so you are going to have to listen. Listen to me, I'm begging you. I'm not suggesting nothing. I'm not asking you. I am begging you to bring your ears in and listen to the instructions and the courage, strength, and the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that you are going to need, because one day you're going to have to be strong enough to stand alone.
Come on, KG.
So, as much as I see all of y'all sitting up in here right now, y'all with me. But if y'all all decide to leave, I got to be able to stand alone. I've been around going on 22 years to see sponsors fall, go back out and relapse, and all of their sponsees stayed here. Even though she failed or he failed, they were able to give them information that they would be able to stand strong on their own. Close members, like I told you, gave me these shoes, passed away. There's not many people still here that was around here when I came, going on 22 years now. They're gone. They gave to me information that I could have because they knew they were going to be gone one day. Tomorrow is not promised. We have to use our ears. Our ears are the gift. It's not our mouth, it's the ears. Because we have to be able to hear and receive. We need something that will hold us when nobody else is there. That's that alone that I'm talking about. Being strong enough, building up a foundation strong enough to stand and walk alone. And there is information in here that's going to be given to you. There's literature in your books that will be given to you that you can read that will give you the strength to stand alone. Today I'm not somebody that I'm gonna join this and join that. Everybody wants me to join this. Join that, join this. No, I don't join stuff no more. I understand that I'm not the alone that I thought I was. I got a God that walks around with me. He walking over here with me right now. Y'all can't even see him. Y'all can't even see him. And not only that, Ernie, who gave me these shoes, Ollie P, Dennis, Miss Pamela, all of them, Wella, just passed away. No, Marcus, my mentee. I'm talking about those that came before me. What's her name? Leela. All these people who were here when I got here, they're gone. They passed away. They're in cemeteries. But their message is still in me. They put something in me. They gave me something before they left. Sister Gracie, I thought I would have them forever. I was the one who sat in the back of the room. I never said a word for 3 years. Anybody was here to tell you I never shared, spoke. I stayed in the back of the room 3 years, being a sponge. Terrified to go back out there where I came from. I said I'm going to get everything they have to give me. Not knowing that on the 9th of August, in 2025, I will be in a room like this, speaking to y'all.
Yes, sir.
But God knew, and they knew.
Yes.
And so they had to prepare me, but I had to sit down and listen alone, because everybody was talking and doing whatever they was doing. I had to sit there alone and prepare myself to be able to walk and talk alone long after the people who poured into me were gone. So in my clothes, it's okay to be alone, but you're going to have to find out how you can be alone. You're going to have to hear and understand why. Because you're going to have to show somebody else. Here today, gone tomorrow. I don't know if this is the last message that I'm going to give here or somewhere else. But what I have given you is what I had to give you. And hopefully, it's something that can prepare you to be able to stand alone, even if the sponsor don't stand no more. Even if some of the sponsees don't stand no more. You continue to stand strong, even alone. Thank you, KG. Thank you for letting me share with y'all. Please, y'all, we can do this together. When we're together, going to move around, you're going to have to stand alone. Peace.